One, I'm here still in San Carlos, and I'm about to leave, and I thought I'd give you like just a quick trip orientation, sort of my way of doing sailboat trip planning. Um, so a quick disclaimer, obviously, like this is how I plan my trip because I've been in the Sea of Cortez for 4 to 5 years now. I can't remember exactly how much. I've been sailing full time for 10 years. I've been sailing pretty much all my life, but I've owned a boat and sailed on a boat for the last 10 years. So this is my way of looking at the weather and preparing a trip at the moment. It should serves as a guide maybe for you, but it certainly is not a full course on how to plan your trips with a sailboat or any ocean going adventure. There's a lot more going into this than what I'll have the time to talk to you about. So be careful, and if you need your any help in prepping your own seagoing voyages, feel free to contact me. I'd love to help you with that. So let's just get into it. I just gave you like a big scaled out, zoomed out view of everything. So quickly, like Los Angeles is here. This is San Diego right there. Phoenix is here in Nogales, and we have Tucson here. La Paz is one of the main hub of the Sea of Cortez. All of this is this they call it the Gulf of California, and it's what we call the Sea of Cortez. You have La Paz, BCE here, and right at the tip here is Cabo San Lucas. At the moment, I'm right on this dot here at the base of it in an area called San Carlos, and it's next to the city of Guaymas. And just to the north of here, we don't see it because this tag here hides it, but it's the city called Hermosillo, which is the major hub around here. So I'm on the east coast of the Sea of Cortez, and my goal is to, in the next few days, I want to get to the other side of the Sea of Cortez, and I'm going to be picking up crew in Loreto a bit after. So I'm trying to zoom in here so you can see where I'm at exactly. So this is Guaymas I was telling you about. You got Ciudad Obregon right here, and right to the north of La Paz, about 12 mile north, is this bay here, and it's a place that I've come to love, called San Carlos, and there's a marina here. There's a boat yard also that you can get access to. The entrance is really easy to get into. The marina per se is a bit shallow if you're deep drafted. I draw 6'9", and there are days that I need to consider tide before I'm gonna get in. So I'm gonna just put my dot back to the entrance of the bay right here, and it's showing us 84 miles to my destination. And if we come across the sea here, Santa Rosalia is the point next to it. So normally I've never been. It's going to be my first time going to Santa Rosalia. I had wished that I could get a slip there. They have a marina. Unfortunately, they have no slip available for me, which is going to make my stay there kind of shorter than I'd want to. All of this here is Mulegé Bay, which is supposedly beautiful. Normally, I do the trip in this fashion, like I go straight uh, from San Carlos to Isla Coronado here, which is about 6 to 7 miles north of the town of Loreto. Loreto is a beautiful area, so you have the island of Coronado right here, and then you have Isla Carmen that's here, and this is the town of Loreto here, and there's this kind of bay, and blue whales come in there. In season, you'll see, I think fin whales stay there the whole season. There's also like what they call orcas that are in the area here, so it's a gorgeous area. And eventually, this is going to be the place where I'm going. On this side of Isla Coronado, you have a sea lion colony, and they call it like the National Marine Park. So all of this is a National Marine Park. They're trying to protect the blue whales and the orcas that come here. Right in front here, you have Isla Danzante, which is a beautiful island. It's really scenic. And in there is the main marina of the area called Puerto Escondido. So You come in here. The entrance is kind of easy, and I'll do a proper video of this marina. It's really nice and it's well protected. And you see the lagoon here is about 34 feet, so it's deep water, and they have a set of moorings along with a marina and a real estate development that's going on down here. Just a bit to the south of that is also like a really nice. They have a resort called Ensenada Blanca at this place here, and all of this is a beautiful resort, and they'll actually let you land your dinghy on the beach there, and you can go and enjoy the resort actually for free. They don't even make you pay a day pass. Obviously, like, you can eat at the restaurant there, which is gorgeous and really good. So I'll be doing all that in the next few months. So that's the map of the area. That's the what I'm trying to do. I normally, this trip, you normally do that in somewhere like November or December in season, and normally, like, you have northerly winds, which obviously, like, 187 is the heading here. So when you have northerlies, you can go in a straight line and do the 126 miles. But this time around, I'm single-handed, so 126 miles is actually like close to 24 hours. Like, I do about 150 miles per 24-hour period, so it'd be a bit less than a full day of sailing. So I think that because I'm single-handing and I want to, sort of have the trip a bit more relaxed, I think I'm gonna, even if I don't have a slip, I'm gonna head to Santa Rosalia right here, which is only 80 miles away. Come on, why is that not working? So my dot, okay, should get it now. Oh. So Santa Rosalia is about 84 miles away. So that's a more reasonable single-handed passage close to shore like that. It's going to be more relaxed. I can do, like, this should take, what's it called? It's about half the distance. So it's going to be, a bit more than 12 hours, I guess, because 12 hours would be 75 miles. So 10 miles more, that's 13, 14 hours, depending on the wind. The other factor that's pushing me on doing this route here is the fact that the wind is coming straight from the south. So if I try to head my normal way and go straight to Coronado Island here, it's a shorter distance for the whole trip, but I'd be like bashing straight against the wind here, where here I'm gonna have like a nice beam reach, and we'll see that like I'll show you that in the weather charts right after that. So here's the wind coming from the south. I should have like more of an open reach to get to Santa Rosalia. The inconvenience of that is now I'm doing 84 miles, we said, this way, and then I'm gonna have to do, I think it's about 75 miles to 109 miles. So I'm actually increasing my distance quite a fair bit. But the nice thing is I'll be seeing all of this coast here along the way, and there's plenty of room to stop along the way here, and some snorkeling and some divings to do here. So I'm gonna at least see a part of the Sea of Cortez that I haven't seen yet, and because like I say, normally I do La Paz, Loreto, and I've never seen these places up there. So I'll get to see something new because the wind is pushing me there. So I'll show you just the weather that I use, and I'm not very original. I use NHC, so National Hurricane Center from NAWA. That's strictly my sole weather source when I do these trips on the west coast of Mexico. I've come to use that as my main tool. Obviously, like, if I had a multiple day trip, then I would have like something like Predict Wind that I could connect to my Iridium Go, but it's not the case now. It's a 12-hour trip, so I don't need to have such a specialized tool. I'm only using like normal wind prediction. So as you can see, we're in storm season, so I got two tropical storms that are active right now. They're kind of far away, so just to put us back on the map here, I'm about here and the storms are about here, so they're about 1,000 miles, a bit more than 1,000 miles away from me. And what you see here in the square, the red square here, is whoops, I didn't want to do that. Let's just go back. So you see 50 knots, 60 miles per hour. So this might sound like I would never want to put my boat into 50 knots of wind. Like, I'm not trying to do that. The maximum wind that I'll willingly go into is about 30 knots. and I much prefer to be in 10 to 15 knots. Like my ideal wind bracket is 10 to 15 knots a wind. But should I ever hit one of those storms at 50 knots, there is no problem. Like I can handle this. I've done this before on this boat, and I would not. I mean, I would not have a great time. I would not enjoy this, and I don't think it's good for your boat's durability to do that on purpose. That being said, modern sailboats, if they're well equipped and well run, in my view, should be able to take 50 knots a wind without coming back the other side broken. Same thing like Georgette here we see is 45 knots a wind. So that's a big difference on the west coast of Mexico compared to the Caribbean. I mean, the Caribbean, you're looking at tropical storms and hurricanes that will go to 100 knots, and here we get like when we get 45 knots or 15 knots, that's about it, which is kind of a gale on the east coast. So it's a sort of it's a storm. You have to respect it, but it's not the catastrophe that a Caribbean hurricane would be. Um, you still have to be cautious about it all. So I'll just go and quickly check the track. So when I look at the wind possibilities and vector, see they're kind of seeing. I guess they can merge together, but what's important for me is that there that storm is not forecasted to come here, and these things are reliable. I know some people, you know, like will be very scared going into a trip like that and all that kind of stuff, but these tracks are very reliable. Like NOAA does a wonderful job. They have like very advanced computer modeling and data, and when they tell you that this storm is going to be here by Saturday 8 p.m., you can put that in the bank. That's what it's going to do. Like I've never had a situation where in 10 years, I mean, and that's the length of my experience, and I'm sure some people will disagree and will say that they've had storms that were wrongly forecasted. I'm sure that happens. I'm just saying, in my case, I've never had a storm, never hit a storm that I didn't see coming. I knew exactly all the time where I was, and I take it as NOAA's gonna has done a good job for me. I use exclusively NOAA products in my planning, and I think you should do the same thing. It's really just plain and simple. So this is my sort of make sure I'm not putting myself in danger kind of weather map, and I'm gonna switch to the next map over here, which is their and I'll put all the links in the description. So as you see, this has all the coastal water on the west coast of Central Mexico and Central America. And NOAA produces these forecasts that are written in plain English. So in my case, I'll be in PMZ 019. And so these are the winds I'm expecting to see. It never rains here, or just about never rains. So south to southeast wind, 10 to 15 knots. 3 foot seas or less, periods of 12 seconds, which is not bad. I mean, actually, it's pretty good. Like bad is 6 seconds, because the more the waves are close together, the more they affect the trim of the boat and the trim of the sail constantly. Where at 12 seconds, you go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to 12 before you hit another wave. So that gives plenty of time to the boat to resettle in the wave pattern. So that's pretty good. So this is what we see tonight, south to southeast. I'm not leaving tonight. I'm looking ahead, and I'm trying to figure out what's going to be the best way to do. I still have some boat prep stuff to do, mainly some cleanup. So the boat is in good state. Every critical system, the engine, the rig, and my fuel level, my water level, everything is good to go. I just need to clean the boat up, and because I've been sitting on in the boatyard and on the dock for the past 2 months. So the boat then becomes kind of a house, and now I got to make this boat a boat, and just stow everything where it needs to go in order for things to not go flying off when we hit the seas. So Friday, southeast 10 to 15, south to southeast 10 to 15, with the wavelength becoming shorter a little bit on Friday to Saturday, and then becoming longer on Saturday night. So looks like Saturday night, probably Saturday night, Sunday, and then south wind 10 knots and three up until next Monday. So these are easy condition, and it should be like a nice crossing to Santa Rosalia. and there's nothing more to it. Like you see that this video is now at 14 minutes. That's it. I don't dig deeper than that. Like some people go very in depth into like pressure surface analysis and all that kind of stuff. I guess if I was racing, the Sea of Cortez is very kind of predictable and stable. And I mean, I've seen some discrepancies between these forecasts and actual encountered condition. You got to remember that you're looking at 100 miles of ocean, of pure sea. So there might be a thunder shower that comes here and there and it's going to hit me and I'm going to see 40 knots or 45 knots. You got to be ready to deal with that if you're going to go sailing off at sea. If you're not ready to deal with that, then you're not at the you should be practicing some more basic sailing, some more close to shore, until you feel confident that you can take those conditions. So happy sailing to all, and keep in mind if you have any question about your route planning, just hit me up. I'll be happy to help you out.